Hello, everyone. A very logical day. I hope you have read this article of the Indian Express, the first editorial of March 27, 2023. And I think you are improving in your vocabulary also. You are able to at least remember that, yes, somewhere you have heard this word, or you have read this word, or you have written this word. कहीं ना कहीं ऐसे तुम्हें words मिलते होंगे. So when you come across such a word that you have heard, you may not remember the meaning. So kindly go through the notebook again. If you remember writing the word in your notebook, search for that word. So in this way also, this is another trick how you will be able to recall the words and remember the meaning of the words or retain the words, you can say. Like so you need to put in like small measures you need to take, small steps you need to take, because your objective is to improve and enrich your vocabulary. So let's see now. Guilt by association. Association is to link with something, somebody, right? And then but still you are guilty about something. So let's see, थोड़ा सा कुछ कोर्ट रिलेटेड मैटर हो सकता है. इससे ज्यादा अभी हम और कुछ भी नहीं समझ सकेंगे. So let's see what we have here. It is disturbing that the three-judge bench of the Supreme Court, led by Justice Imar Shah, has ruled that even a mere membership of a band or association is sufficient to constitute an offence under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. So the words were mere membership of a band association is sufficient. Even if you are a member, it is enough to consider it an offense. The court has held that a person can be guilty of membership even without any further overt act or mens rea, that is, criminal intent, on one's part. In doing so, the court has overruled three older cases which read the section with a view to distinguish between active and passive members. Section 10A1 of the UAPA states that where an association is declared unlawful by a notification, a person who is and continues to be a member of such association shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years and shall also be liable to fine. In 2011, while granting bail to Arup Bhuyan, a two-judge bench led by Justice Markandeya Katju examined similar guilt by association clauses under the now repealed Terrorist and Disruptive Activities Prevention Act. Okay. Repealed is a word which we have done, revoked, rescinded, take back. It discusses the line between advocacy and incitement to violence. आप किसी भी चीज के लिए आप किसी के लिए एडवोकेट कर सकते हो. तो एडवोकेट करना मतलब यू आर अ proponent or you champion or you support the cause, right? That is called that you are advocating for something. So there's a difference between advocating and incitement to violence. Incitement is provoking, instigating. ठीक है, या तो तुम किसी के लिए किसी का साथ देते हो तो उसके लिए बोलते हो, किसी भी कॉज के लिए, या आप कुछ बोलते हो लेकिन वो लोगों को उकसाता है, वो इंस्टिगेट करता है, right? That is called incitement to violence. When a passive membership or intellectual sympathy to a cause can spill over to real call to violence, right? Passive membership, that means you're not doing anything but you are still a member of that association. ठीक है, एक्टिव मेंबर नहीं हो, आप पैसिव मेंबर हो. या इंटेलेक्चुअल सिंपैथी मतलब हाँ, इंटेलेक्चुअली on that level we agree to the beliefs of that particular association. So now if you agree to what those people follow or that association follows, that means it is enough to find you or make you guilty of association. This sympathy to a cause, this can spill over to real call to violence. The same bench in the same year applied the principle in two other cases while granting bail. The center and the state of Assam had sought a review of this reading almost a decade ago. So, it is disturbing was the first thing there. In doing so, the court has overruled three older cases. Overruled का मतलब होता है इसके ऊपर से निकल जाना, उसको रूल जो पहले दिया था उसे खत्म कर देना. तो this has been, बोलते कितनी बार तुम लोगों ने सुना ना, ऑब्जेक्शन ओवररूल्ड. तो ओवररूल मतलब आप उसको कंसिडर ही नहीं कर रहे हो, या तो होता है ऑब्जेक्शन सस्टेन्ड, सस्टेन्ड यानी मेंटेन्ड, तो ठीक है, राइट, दीज आर वर्ड्स दैट यू नो. And then it is that it discusses the line between advocacy and incitement to violence. Now, in last week's verdict, the Supreme Court gave two broad reasons for overruling the 2011 rulings. First, it accepted the state's argument that there are sufficient safeguards in the stringent UAPA framework. Stringent is strictly followed. Every effort is made to ensure that every member of the association is made aware of the fact that such association is declared as unlawful. ठीक है, इसका अगर उसे डिक्लेयर की गई है अनलॉफुल तो एवरी मेंबर शुड नो that it has been declared. The government argued that the declaration of an organization as unlawful is a product of a robust adversarial process wherein ample opportunity is given to the organization to appeal to the better senses of a judicially trained mind in order to justify its aims, objectives, and activities being legal and not unlawful within the constitutional setup. Right, that much opportunity should be given, and so that it can prove its aims or justify. बोलना prove नहीं, justify का मतलब होता है आप उसको logic दे सकते हो आप किसी को, लेकिन ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ. Now this line of reasoning follows a troubling trend where the court extends the executive's power. Now this sentence comes from the point of view of the author. अगर ऐसा अपनी मर्जी के मुताबिक होगा, ठीक है, so फिर troubling trend where the court extends the executive's powers. So, executive's powers have been unnecessarily extended. The court is not giving anything. And this is the reasoning that they are adopting. And this is finally going to bring trouble. Right? Why? Because the court is giving the executive every benefit of every doubt. The second justification for the verdict is simply that the court ought not to have relied upon the US Supreme Court judgments, since the US law is in contradistinction to the scenario in question in India. That means the scenario in both the countries are very different, so the laws should also be differently made. The question that flows from the verdict is how the state can charge an individual for membership. वो एक इंडिविजुअल है, उसे मेंबरशिप के लिए अगर कोई बरी करे चार्ज करे तो कैसे करे. What evidence does it have to bring before the court? Here the three 2011 bail cases are revealing. A confessional statement and recovery of literature during a police raid were produced as proof of a membership. Clearly the court has lowered the bar for the state when restricting freedom. Right? They have lowered the bar for the state. Bar यानी एक रेफरेंस पॉइंट, वो कम कर दिया है. अगर हम फ्रीडम की बात करें या फ्रीडम के रिस्ट्रिक्शन की बात करें, so it has been reduced or lowered. Right? So here he says that there are two great reasons, broad reasons. Then he gave us the reason. First इधर है और फिर second किधर गया, उससे यूज किया था वर्ड. Here, the second justification. Right? Now what he is coming in the end is the author's point. The question that flows from the verdict is how the state can charge an individual for membership. What evidence does it have to bring up before the court? That means what is the court now going to do, or what are the people now going to do? So let's see the main idea. So SC order lowers the bar for the state when restricting freedoms. दो चीजें थी इसमें, lowers the bar and restricting freedom. A few words only we have related to the code and the legal language. Check कर लेते हैं. Constitute, दो meanings होते हैं. One, it is something that has been founded. ठीक है, found ढूंढना वाला नहीं या मिलना वाला नहीं, फाउंड का मतलब होता है इस्टेब्लिश करना, तो इसलिए हम फाउंडेड बाय कर सकते हैं, और टू क्रिएट। और सेकंड मीनिंग विल बी दिस, कॉन्स्टिट्यूट मीन्स अ पार्ट ऑफ, और इट इज मेड अप ऑफ, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, so डिपेंडिंग ऑन द सेंटेंस बट इट हैज मल्टीपल मीनिंग्स। Overruled, as we just discussed, overrule would be like overridden or domineered, कोई overrule करेगा, ठीक है, यहाँ पे रूल करेगा, इसका मतलब क्या हो गया, कोई आपको डोमिनेट कर रहा है, तो वो डोमिनियरिंग हो जाएगा। Stringent is very strict, severe is a word that you have heard maybe. Relate rigorous, inflexible, and rigid with it. So if you are very strictly, if you are following some rule, so that rule will be rigidly followed. ये मीनिंग आ जाएगा। और क्योंकि वो rigidly followed है, वो चेंज नहीं हो सकता है, तो inflexible हो सकता है, right? So rigorous, inflexible, rigid can be synonymous to stringent and strict. Robust is to do with robur. Health, so strong, vigorous, healthy, and hearty. Hale and hearty जैसे बोलते हैं ना, वैसा। Adversarial is adverse. Adverse is opposite. Adverse conditions, adverse climatic conditions होते हैं ना, तो opposite के लिए हमारे पास एक simple word opposite तो है इसे, पर combat, combative. Now most of you know the meaning of combat, but still write combative so that when you are reading, you're going through your notes, you are able to keep this in mind. तो argumentative समझ में आ जाता है, combative. Ample is sufficient. What I had given you was ample is sufficient enough, right? Plenty and bounteous and copious and profuse, ठीक है, ये हो जाता है abundant केस जैसा, several, abundant, right? Intellectual sympathy मतलब where we can understand and sympathize with them, but intelligence के हिसाब से, so EM stands for that intelligence ना, mind से related होता है empathy, so empathy is to understand what the other person is going through. Spill over, right, to overflow. अब ओवरफ्लो होके वो कहाँ जाएगा, दूसरे कंडीशंस में, दूसरे सेक्टर्स में, दूसरे रीजन्स में, राइट, दैट इज कॉल्ड स्पिलिंग ओवर, वेयर द रिजल्ट्स हैव स्प्रेड. Mens rea will be the intention or knowledge of wrongdoing that constitutes part of a crime, and it was given in the paragraph also, right? It is that intention that is a part of a crime. So that's all for today. So thank you, and keep reading editorials, keep reading various articles also. Any day I'll be taking the major article now. So these articles, these first editorials, कभी simple भी आते हैं, कभी difficult भी होते हैं. But most of the time, I think now you should be able to understand or extract the central idea that we've been doing since 3 months, right? So next we'll be taking a little lengthier article, so be prepared for that. And those who have not heard the previous ones, kindly go through them. Thank you. That's all for today. See you tomorrow. Have a logical day.